Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Sacramento Beer Show. So I've noticed lately that I've had some interest around last year's video of the Willettized rye whiskey barrel stout from Lagunitas. Thought I'd go ahead and try the 2020 edition for you today. I hope all of you are having a healthy 2020. I know the show's been gone for a little bit and this year's been a little wild, but I'm back, at least for one episode. This is the Willettized coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels from Lagunitas Brewing. So if I remember, I really liked this beer last year, the 29 edition. I thought both in terms of flavor and also value, I think it was like somewhere like $12 for a 4-pack for a beer that is 13.1%. I think it's actually higher alcohol than last year's. I think last year's was 12 something. But for a high alcohol beer that's aged in nice whiskey barrels to come in for this price point, I think is almost unheard of. Like, look at Founders KBS. It's like consistently $21, $22, $24 for 4 12-ounce bottles. So the value's definitely here. I remember the flavor being here, so let's get into it, shall we? See if the 2020 edition lives up to its reputation. So, I've already told you a bit about it, but it's Lagunitas Woodshop series. I don't know that I've had any others in their Woodshop series besides this. So, Willettized, so they take Willett rye whiskey barrels and then age the stout in them. Willett is a excellent rye. It's like $50 a bottle, so it's not something I have very often, but it is delicious. If you see the, I think it's the 4-year that they have released currently, check that out. You won't regret it. It's a coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels, and it's 13.3% ABV. And it's got the usual Lagunitas stuff around the label. Oh! If you actually read the usual Lagunitas stuff around the label, you find information. So I'm going to read it to you. From our friend, the Kentucky distiller J.D. Willett himself, and this is a quote, "We have one type of barrel wood, and we put 2 things in them. And once they're sufficiently spent, we score some of those scrutable casks from J.D. and put 1 thing in them. Beer. The taste tells it's good to have friends. Let us know what you think." Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pop this one open and pour it into this glass here. So in the glass, super dark. In the pour, it's got a deep like chocolate amber color. The head, I can smell the beer from here. It is super aromatic. Wow. The head is like a light mocha sort of tan. I think you can see that pretty well in the camera. Yeah. So, yeah, aroma. I can smell it from over here, but up close it's coffee, yes, but it's molasses more than anything too. Somewhere between the coffee and molasses is a dark chocolate, and some lightly sort of fruity, hoppy notes sort of accenting in the background. I smell like a butterscotch caramel type note from the whiskey, I think. Delicious. Sometimes butterscotch in a beer is a bad thing. This is not that smell. It's not acetaldehyde. It's one of the. It's an off note. This is not that. This is like truly like caramel, like a rich butter, like slowly melted and folded in, emulsified even. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. Color me impressed, yet again. I don't really remember what I said last year about this beer. I remember liking it, but I don't remember my tasting notes. I probably should have watched those before I reviewed it. But so, think of like a chocolate coffee, also known as mocha milkshake, that is spiked with rye whiskey. And so like your initial sip is the cool chocolatey creamy notes, coffee notes of the ice cream, but then it devolves into sweet, boozy caramel, maple syrup, as I mentioned, molasses, boozy, almost like an old-fashioned in the finish. It's so rich, and you feel that heat, that alcohol burn going down, which is welcomed in the stout. There's so many layers. This is a sweet beer. I think that's a fair thing to say about this beer, but sweet in the best way possible. Literally, like I'm drinking a chocolate milkshake. By the way, what's your favorite fast food chocolate milkshake? In-N-Out? Shake Shack? Let me know in the comments down below. Looking back to the rye whiskey itself that's playing in here, you get the light, fruity, spicy notes that this rye whiskey has. On the finish, that's what I'm getting. You almost forget that you just took a sip of beer on the finish. It's almost like you just had a sip of your Willett rye, old fashioned, or Manhattan for that matter. You got like a rich, chocolatey vermouth, something like Carpano Antica in a Manhattan. This beer, it's scrumptious. One of the best stouts I've had all year, and the most affordable one at that, especially for the ABV, 13.1. Whoops. I mean, this is, it's boozy, but it's, every sip, as you're reaching for more, as you're like enveloped in a warm, fuzzy blanket. This is definitely something to have around the holidays, especially this year. I think you deserve this. I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Cheers.